Salesforce series. I'm your host Piyusha, and we are organizing this Build a Career in Salesforce LinkedIn Live series to help and support people entering in Salesforce. In this bi-monthly series, we'll be answering your questions ranging from how to enter in Salesforce as a graduate to being an MVP. So every other week, we have an industry expert with us to solve your dilemmas. So Salesforce, in a latest report, has indicated that Salesforce economy will generate 4.2 million new jobs between 2019 and 2024. Sorry. So this is an exciting time to join the Salesforce economy. This week, we have our wonderful guest, Vicki Moritz-Henry from Supermums with us. Hi, Vicky. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah, we're excited to have you with us. Would you like to introduce yourself to your audience?
Absolutely. So, like you said, my name is Vicky, and I actually live in France. I'm originally from the US, hence the accent. And I've been in France for the last 10 years, and I am the certified instructor with Supermums. I'm head of training with Supermums, and I deliver our marketing cloud course there. I'm also had the honor of being accepted as a marketing champion this year, which has been a lot of fun, and just spreading some news around marketing cloud, Pardot, and all of those fun tools. And yes, as it says here, I'm currently 10 times certified and all about empowering moms. I'm a mom of 3 myself. So I have a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old at home. So I know all about juggling, learning with kids, and that work-life balance there.
Oh, wow. Like mom of 3 and 10x certified, that is quite an achievement.
It's all about doing Trailhead on your phone whenever you get a chance in between like feedings and things like that. Trailhead during bottle time is key.
That's exciting. But I am assuming it is quite challenging to, juggle both the tasks perfectly.
Yes. Well, I would say they say that it takes a village to raise a family and to develop your career at the same time. So it's definitely about having the right support system in place. My husband's on paternity leave for 2 years with our youngest. So he is downstairs with the kids right now while I get to be here talking to all of you.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Equality.
Yes. Maybe a subject for another time. We'll do a whole nother live around it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, so you have had an exciting and I'll say a fascinating journey of becoming a Salesforce trainer from an English teacher. So how and when you stumbled upon Salesforce?
Yeah, I'd say I'm the classic story of using Salesforce and becoming an accidental admin in it. So I started out as a French major in university, moved to France and was teaching English in schools. And then I started to teach English online. So the company that I worked with for 8 years before transitioning into Salesforce, they used Salesforce, but they didn't necessarily use it very well. So I had started working in academic operations and more on the management side of things, and we wanted to be able to do more with the system. And we knew that you probably could do it, but it just wasn't being done. And that's what sometimes, especially with these big companies, that's what ends up happening sometimes. And with a colleague of mine, actually with Brooke, who is now with Linvio, we started to learn Trailhead together. So we wanted to be able to do more, get more involved with the system, make improvements so that the teachers had a better experience, so that the students had a better experience. And we started to learn together. And that's how I transitioned in and became an accidental admin. And we started to put together these ideas of projects that we could do, of creating a community now called Experience that we could use for the teachers and for teacher recruitment and just all of these great Salesforce ideas. And then it kept growing from there. So after that, I became certified and joined Supermums.
Oh, wow. Exciting. So you have had like this amazing journey from being an English teacher to, moving on to a bit more technical background. what do you think are, since you've already done it yourself, what do you think are the top challenges of transitioning from a non-technical background to Salesforce? But considering the fact that you already have some ideas of using Salesforce while you were working as an English teacher, so for people who don't have any idea, what do you think will be like the most difficult part of transitioning from a non-technical background to Salesforce?
I think it's all about finding your niche and using your past career knowledge as well. Because if you're transitioning from a non-technical background, that means you've had some sort of career background, and everybody has their past that they've built up. You've built up soft skills during that time. You have problem-solving skills. You have maybe customer-facing skills and communication skills. All of that is really important in Salesforce. And it may be that the technical side may not be for everybody, and it's judging for yourself whether or not it's something that you want to get very much so into the tech side of Salesforce, because you could be the one making everything, but you could also be the one who is maybe going into more of a solutions engineer role and doing more pre-sales and talking to customers and just knowing how to do demos and things like that, or being the business analysis that is going to be the person doing more communicating with the client. So I'd say that all of those past career skills and all of your non-technical background, you're not losing it at any point. It's just building on that. And as long as you are curious and you have the drive to learn more and be curious about how the technology works, then that's the important part about transitioning, is really having that curiosity to want to learn more.
Okay. And at what point of time you think is a good time to, get yourself certified?
Once you feel ready. Every person's learning journey is going to be different. So for one person, it may be that they start studying hardcore for a couple months and then they get certified at the end of 2-3 months. That's probably relatively challenging to do. Otherwise, it may be a longer journey that you're learning a little bit, especially if you're juggling a career, family life, anything else at the same time. Then it's all about creating that balance, keeping the learning going, and trying to get some real experience under your belt, whether it's going out and working on a project, whether there's some volunteer opportunities to help get some experience, or if you are just building things in a dev org. Going into Trailhead and building different apps, even around family life, for example. Whenever my kids go on to medicine or something like that, I say, okay, I'll just build a Salesforce app for this, and it'll send me reminders of when they need to get their medicine, or tracking your grocery list. It can be really mundane things, but you're getting that hands-on experience and helping to solidify your learning. And that's going to help you come exam time too, because the exam isn't everything. You want to be building up your learning and your skills so that you're going out into a job role afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. Moving on. So since you're with Supermums for quite a long time, would you like to introduce Supermums to our audience?
Yes. So I've been with Supermums for close to 3 years now, and just had a quick maternity leave break in the middle there. But yes, I'm head of training with Supermums. So what I do is I manage the learning programs and especially delivering programs myself, and then creating our roadmap of creating new courses. And we're a workforce development program. So what we're trying to do is to bring new learners into the ecosystem. We have an admin course that's bringing completely new learners into the Salesforce world. And then we have some other courses that either help to build your knowledge, or it may be that you're going straight into them. So we have Marketing Cloud, we have a consultancy course, and I deliver the Marketing Cloud course, and I hop in on admin every once in a while because that's what I used to do. So it's still fun to stay involved, but we're all about virtual learning. So it's a completely virtual course, and it's extended learning as well. So for example, our admin course is 6 months long, and we try to build as much of a holistic experience as we can, because like I said before, it takes a village. So it's about having the support of a mentor. We match one-to-one mentors for our admin course, and it's just building another support system in place. We have weekly learning, so live learning with an instructor, homework that you're doing around a case study, and then we put you onto a real-life work experience project with our admin course. So it's getting that first project experience. And then we have our recruitment arm, because our goal is to get people into work at the end of the day. So we have our recruitment arm that helps to place people into job roles.
Okay. So to begin with, how people can actually get into like registering themselves with the Supermums program, what is the kind of application process? Because I'm assuming the program is quite selective. I'm not sure if everybody can participate in this, and yeah, how like people can actually benefit from these different programs, because there are like certain programs for marketing cloud consultants and some for admins and developers and all these different programs. So how they can get admitted into these programs, and what are like the specialties of some of the top programs you have?
Yes, so our programs for right now, I say for right now because we're always growing and always making new ones. But for right now, we have our admin course, we have marketing cloud, we have consultancy, and then we also have career coaching. So career coaching is something that we build into all of our courses. But if you just want career coaching, you can do that. And then we'll be launching Part-4 in November as well. So that's a really exciting new course that we'll be doing. And for Supermums, one of the things I forgot to mention is that for our Marketing Cloud and our Part-4 courses, we partner with Trailhead Academy. So actually what we do with those courses is we take the Trailhead Academy bootcamp content, we add our own Supermums touch to it, and we extend it so that you have longer learning and not just a 1-week bootcamp. So you have a little bit of extra support. But for the application process, we have used Salesforce and all of its automation power, and everything is on our website. So you can go to supermums.org, you can check out the different courses, you can download an information pack. It gives you all of the information around the courses, and then it also gives you the link to apply. So you can apply online. We build our course for mums because we know all of us are mums on the course, on the team as well. We know how hard it is to transition careers as a mom, and so many moms are facing things like maternity leave issues, not having work-life balance, and even facing redundancy. So that's our target audience, but we accept everybody. We have our super dads, we have our super non-parents as well. There's no cutoff criteria. And we take anybody from any background. So we don't select and only bring technical people onto our courses or non-technical. It's for everybody. So you just come onto our website, you submit your application, and then everything is automated. So you come through, you have the training agreement and the course payment page, and then you sign up. You pick your cohort because we run 4 per year. And at any point, you can always chat with one of our Supermums alumni. So we have Abby and Amia and Shellen in the US, and they offer career coaching and really making sure that it's the right fit for you.
Okay. Sorry, as we move forward, we actually got a few questions from our audience on this specific topic. So the first one is from Nagma Khan. So she's asking whether you have any courses or apprenticeships available for US residents as well. And also, do you have any scholarships for moms who have completed Salesforce admin bootcamp training from Trailhead?
So for the scholarship question, no, we don't currently have any. We do subsidize all of our costs with sponsorship, so we keep them as low as possible. But otherwise, we have had quite a few people who, if you do have an employer already and are transitioning into Salesforce within your job role, we do have some employers who will sponsor you onto a course. So that's one way to get some sponsorship onto them. For the courses, yes, we have our course. We're global. So especially since we're virtual, we've had people from all over the world. I think we're up to 14 countries now across the world. And we have pastoral support and courses for the admin course in the US time. And then for our marketing cloud and consultancy, we try to make it a time that fits for both. So we do have all of those courses there. And then we'll be launching in Australia in November of this year, hopefully. So we'll be truly global and accepting people from all around the world and really not recreating the wheel. It's the same course wherever you join from. It's just about giving pastoral support in your time zone.
Okay.
And for the apprenticeships, because I see that's the second part of the question, unfortunately, those are only UK and specifically England-based right now because it's using the apprenticeship government program. But we are looking into ways that if there's any way we can find apprenticeships in other countries, we're always happy to go into those. So never say never.
Okay. For people who are trying to actually gain some experience with volunteering experiences with different nonprofits, I actually have a suggestion. You can probably visit catafire.org, and there you can find like plenty of projects related to Salesforce, and you can apply from apply there and gain some experience from those experiences. So yeah, that's something you can do to gain some experience.
It is. I would put a caveat in there though. If you don't have your admin certification and if you do not have any Salesforce experience, then don't go in directly and volunteer with a nonprofit directly. What we do with our course is we do work with nonprofits, but we have project managers and people in place to offer support. There's so many projects that as a newcomer into Salesforce, you don't necessarily know all the best practices and things like that. So you never want to implement something for a nonprofit that is going to end up costing the money to fix later. So just make sure that you're doing that responsibly. Have some experience under your belt first, have your certs.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Okay, so we got a question from Charles, but I guess you've already covered that. Can a super dad join Supermums? Yeah, definitely. You can join Supermums if you're a super dad, or anyone can join Supermums. Okay, so we'll take some more questions later. These were the questions related to the specific program. So if you have any more questions, please put them in the comments section, and we'll try to answer most of your questions at the end of the session. Okay, so what is your advice for people who want to pursue a career in Salesforce or want to switch their careers from a different background to Salesforce? What is your key advice for them? How they can get started, and what is the key basis, like where they can start? What is the first thing they need to do when moving forward? What kind of certifications they need to get, and all those things?
That's a great question, and there's so many things you could say there. I would say to get started, you first of all want to make sure that it's for you. So hop on Trailhead. The Trailhead has all of the free learning there. It's a great way to get your feet wet, go into some beginner badges, and take a look to see if it's something that you really like doing. So that will help to get you started. And then don't do it alone. There are over 1,000 badges on Trailhead right now. So there is just so much out there to learn, and it's really easy to get overwhelmed. So that's where courses like Supermums, like the other great courses that are out there, we offer a little bit of guidance of direction and learning, and take advantage of the community. Salesforce has such a great community, and they call it the Ohana for a reason, which means family in Hawaiian. And it's one of the things that attracted me to Salesforce in the beginning, because coming from a non-technical background myself, I had almost gone into medicine at one point during university and said, oh, this isn't the right career for me. And it was actually the atmosphere, that it was too shark eat shark kind of world. And the doctors out there who are out there are absolutely amazing, but it just wasn't the right ambiance for me. So with the Salesforce ecosystem, you get into Twitter, to LinkedIn, you start connecting to people, joining user groups, especially now that everything's virtual for the moment, take advantage of it and join some user groups, get to know people, network. And there's so many amazing individuals out there who will really help to support your journey and get you into the Salesforce ecosystem in the first place. So don't do it alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a really good advice. So Okay, we got a really amazing question. Do you think that it's a good idea to do certifications that aren't necessarily Salesforce certs, but could be relevant to Salesforce you might take up? Okay, so this question is from Mark Jones, and he's thinking like Slack and Tableau certs, doing with possibly certifications and things like Jira and Confluence.
Yeah, that's a great question. Hi, Mark. Yes, so the question of different certs, absolutely. Anything that you're learning on the side, Salesforce, even themselves, in Dreamforce 2019, I think it was, they had all of their speeches around how Salesforce is not a standalone product. It's not the only tech system that companies are going to be using. So they recognize even that companies are using Slack, that they're using Tableau, that they're using Jira, and that it's important that Salesforce can work with all of those other ones. And even being in the Salesforce ecosystem, no matter what job role you're in, whether it's consultant, BA, or if you're an admin, in-house admin, or developer, all of those different certs and different knowledge that you're building up, because really a cert is just proving your knowledge in that area, is going to help to make you stand out, to differentiate yourself from everybody else in the ecosystem. And it will help you to be able to have that mindset of how does Salesforce work with those other systems and have a bigger picture idea. Okay. So yeah, go for it.
Okay, a little self-publicity. So we are Apphienz, a Salesforce registered partner, and we are currently hiring for different Salesforce-related roles. So if you are looking for a job within the Salesforce domain, or you're switching careers, do check out our website. And if you have any questions related to Apphienz or the roles we're hiring, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can drop us a message at careers@aphienz.com. Moving on, we have some more questions from our audience. So one of the questions is from Anup Day, and he's asking, what kind of roles can I perform as an undergraduate fresher for Salesforce or any other Salesforce consulting services?
Yeah, so there are so many different paths that you can go down, and it's not a cut and dry, do this and then do that. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. So if you are just getting into the ecosystem, you may decide to be an in-house admin and get your feet wet that way and go down that route. You may decide that you want a faster paced environment and go down the consultancy route, because it is two very different worlds. Where you're in-house admin, you're really going to get to know the company that you're working for. You're going to get to know their business processes, really be able to help grow the system alongside of them. Whereas a consultancy, it's fast-paced. You have to like fast-paced, but you are doing multiple different projects, so you have to be able to juggle and multitask. And you're also getting to know so many different types of projects. So you'll get to know the different types of projects, whether it's an implementation or a support package. And then you're also going to be working with different products. So I'd say that your learning curve in a consultancy is going to be much steeper than an admin role, but it all depends on what you're looking for and what you want to, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got our next question is from Vinita Jaju, and she's saying that she's a 2-time certified ranger at Trailhead, but she's having difficulties landing a job.
Yeah, so that is awesome. First of all, congratulations on your certifications and on your ranger status. It is really hard to get into your first job, and it's the hardest one that you're going to get. So I'd say keep doing what you're doing, keep applying to different job roles. Even if it looks like you might not fit all of the boxes on a job role, go ahead for it anyway, because a lot of job roles will be looking for somebody who is almost a unicorn in the ecosystem that doesn't exactly exist, or that there's just so many people looking for that same person, that it may be that you have other aspects that you're able to bring to that job role that they recognize and that they're happy to bring you into. And then also network. Go to community events, start to get to know people in your area. Your job will maybe come through a connection that you have rather than just job postings on LinkedIn. So it's throw out a couple different nets so that you still have all of your jobs that you're interviewing for, but you also are connecting and networking and trying to make the right connection there. And keep learning too, because that's going to show that to any employer that you're putting in the dedication and that you're not just going to stop there. So keep learning, do your super badges on Trailhead, any experiences you can get, build out even demos in Trailhead that you can show off during interviews.
Yeah, this is some great advice, Vicky. And something I would like to add in here is you can probably gain some experience with volunteering that actually adds up on your resume. And then you can polish your resume, try to create a beautiful resume using Canva or some of these tools, which actually highlights your application. When like hiring manager is looking at your resume, it is the first thing which actually shows this is kind of like your first impression. So I would recommend, beautifying your resume a little bit.
Yeah, and even your keywords. A lot of recruitment agencies are looking for certain keywords in your resume and are going to pick you for that. So do some research on keywords.
Okay, so the next question is from Ashwin Raghunath, and he's asking, can I land a job without being certified?
Yeah, so never say never again. There are many people out there who are not certified, who do great work in the Salesforce ecosystem. I would say that it's going to be much, much harder. So the certifications, what they're doing is showing that you have a certain level of knowledge. And Salesforce themselves put so much emphasis and value on those certifications that a lot of employers and partners are looking for the certifications themselves. So unless you have a very high-level tech background or a very maybe niche sector that you're coming from, it might be more challenging to get a job without it.
Okay. So the next question we have is from Kanika Sharma, and she wants to know, she's a newly certified admin. Can she pursue Service Cloud consultant career? Currently, she's working as a business analyst. So how can she pursue the Service Cloud consultant career? If you can probably guide her with that.
Yeah, well, you absolutely can. And with your business analysis skills, you're going to be partway there already, because with the Service Cloud consultant, it is one of the consultant exams. So it's asking a lot of questions around the consultancy process as well. And part of that's going to be all of the discovery that goes into it, the different implementation methods, and getting familiar with those. Service Cloud is a little particular as well, because there's a lot around CTI integrations on it, for example. So that's going to be something that you can hop on Trailhead, do some certs on some badges on Trailhead. There's some great Service Cloud trails, or even prepare for your Service Cloud consultant trail that comes from Salesforce themselves. Go to help documentation and read through there. And then there's things out there like Focus on Force. They have some great study guides and some mock exams that help to prepare you. So I know they do have some around Service Cloud as well. And then Trailhead Academy actually gives the free cert preparation days, and they often have them around Service Cloud. So I like to use those at the beginning of my studies and at the end, because at the beginning, it gives you an idea of the knowledge that you need to be able to pass the exam. It gives you a high-level view of what you need to learn, and it will help you to identify your gaps. And then take another one as you're getting ready, because it is a condensed version. It's not going to teach you everything you need to know to become a Service Cloud consultant, but it will definitely help you on your way.
Okay, yeah, that's a very detailed advice. Okay, so Kanika, we also have some information for you. So we're actually sponsoring a Service Cloud Consultant Bootcamp with Women in Tech Group Kolkata. The camp will be starting virtually from 5th of September, if I'm right. So you can follow us on LinkedIn, and you'll be able to get some more information about the bootcamp. The bootcamp will comprise of 6 different sessions conducted by different MVPs located around the world. So yeah, this is a session. If you're looking for Service Cloud Consultant certification, this is a session which you don't want to miss.
Awesome.
Our next question is from Tyrion Tacker. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He wants to know, how can I instill the confidence in my partner who is not tech savvy that the Salesforce BA trail will not be overwhelming for her?
I'm laughing because it hits home, that question. My husband is a chef in restoration, and I have been getting him on Trailhead as well. So I know where you're coming from, and he is not tech savvy either. I would say that, first of all, getting somebody else involved, because my husband does not listen to me as much as he listens to somebody else. So sometimes it is hard getting your partner involved in Salesforce, but otherwise, just maybe not focusing only on Trailhead, but giving some podcasts. There's some great podcasts out there, or some YouTube videos, and just something that's a little bit more motivational and a little bit changing the tone a little bit, so that it's not overly technical on Trailhead, because Trailhead can get overwhelming sometimes. You're going through and you're doing challenge after challenge, quiz after quiz. And for somebody who's not used to that, it's hard to get into it. So she may get there eventually. But yeah, it's about having a few different styles of learning in there potentially. And maybe get them to come to a couple user groups. Like get them drinking the Kool-Aid, get them involved in the ecosystem and seeing how great Salesforce world is, and then the technical side comes after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's totally great advice, because a lot of people who try to start doing the exercises on Trailhead, they actually find it overwhelming. And so if you listen to podcasts or maybe some YouTube videos, and you actually be able to understand how the Salesforce world is working and what you can actually achieve within this Salesforce economy. So yeah, sometimes doing Trailhead first might not be the best way to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're having a nice mix between the two. Even the awesome admin podcast, they have all of those customer stories. So you hear about what the final product is going to be and this goal that you're working towards. And you're like, oh, that's actually why I'm doing all of this.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually got a question about whether people can see the replays of part 1 to 3 of the series. Yes, you can actually. So all of the series are recorded, and most of them are available on our YouTube and LinkedIn channels. We'll probably be dropping links to all of the series in the comments later. So yeah, everything is recorded. You can watch this video again. You can watch the previous series as well. Okay, so the next question we have is from Umayya Rama Subramaniam. He's saying that I'm certified Service Cloud Consultant. I'm passionate about that, and I want to get Salesforce support jobs. Which way can I get in that door?
Yeah, so it depends on what type of support jobs that you're looking for. If you're looking at more working on support for companies, then it may be that you get involved with a consultancy, and a lot of the consultancies have support desks. So you could get involved with a support desk in a consultancy and really be doing more troubleshooting and more little mini projects potentially to help support that business. Yeah. Otherwise, you may be a freelance contractor too, and then you just network and get some good projects in, get some good word of mouth, and then everything else will hopefully flow from there.
Mm-hmm. And as Mark recommended, I would definitely, be biased with the user groups as well, because Salesforce community is so amazing. Everybody's actually ready to, help you out in one way or other. So try to get involved in the different user groups and try to be a bit more active in the Salesforce community.
Yeah, that's where people bring their real life solutions as well a lot of times. So it's about not just getting, this is what Salesforce would recommend on Trailhead, but what does it actually look like when it's out there in the world and out there in a consultancy where everybody's coming from different backgrounds and they're all there to share knowledge. So you get some great advice, some really creative ideas come out of those user group meetings sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so our last question is from Varsha Wagmare, and she's saying that she's currently in the process of changing industry and entering into Salesforce. She does have an admin certification, but she's not from an IT background, and she doesn't have any knowledge about how to code. She's asking, are there any roles other than being an admin where coding is not required in Salesforce? Could be a silly question, but was curious to ask. It's not a silly question. You can ask anything.
There's no such thing as silly questions. If you have it, somebody else probably has the same one. So thanks for asking. But yes, absolutely. One of the great things about Salesforce as a product is that they put so much emphasis on what they call declarative tools. So that's basically click, not code. And it's really nice because you can get the functionality of being able to have things that you could do in code previously in systems, but you don't need to know coding to be able to do an admin role. You can go into consultancy, you can be a BA, you can even potentially be an architect without knowing how to code. At some point, you'll probably brush with code as you're going down some of those more consultancy tech paths. And you may start to understand code a little bit, and then maybe you'll decide that you like it from there. But there's no obligation to code, and that's where you bring a developer in. Many Salesforce projects will go out and bring a developer into the project when you hit a point where you need code. And that's where I'm at personally right now, is I'm starting to learn code myself and studying for my PD1 and starting to write some Apex triggers and to troubleshoot some Visualforce pages. And it all came from brushing up against code, wanting to be able to do more than the platform will let you do. So when you hit a limitation, and then the only way to get around that is to use code. So that's when the coding comes in.
I'm actually surprised to learn that, as an admin, like even as an architect, you don't need coding. This is a pretty new information to me.
Yes, actually, I will cite Gemma, in the UK with the Architects Club. She often speaks around that subject, and herself is an architect, has done amazing projects, but doesn't know how to code herself. And it is about knowing what code does, what the power of code is, but you don't need to be able to do it all yourself. And that's where you start to bring other people in, you start to bring other skill sets into the project, and you don't need to know how to do everything. You need to know how to go out and find the right person with that skill set instead. So she has all of her videos are on YouTube as well. So you can go out and check out some of her videos to learn more about that.
Okay, that was some really helpful information, Vicky. And we're really, super happy to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you everyone for joining us for the session today and making it a successful live.
Yeah, thanks for all of your questions. It always makes it more fun to be on a session with lots of questions. It's more interactive. But thanks for having me, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if anybody has any other questions. I'm always happy to answer.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll be back very soon with more such sessions. And in our upcoming sessions, we'll try to cover topics like how to become an admin, how to become a developer, business analyst, sales cloud consultant, or an architect, etc. So stay tuned for more such sessions and follow us on LinkedIn. Or if you have any queries, you can connect with Vicky over LinkedIn, or you can drop me a line. So Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.